we get started, I'm gonna need y'all to quit playing with my Uncle Elmo wallet and buy some shit.
Hey, yo, what up, y'all? Today I want to do a really quick reaction to a segment that I recently saw on the Social Proof podcast. So David and Donnie had guest Nehemiah Davis on for a conversation. And during this particular segment, the question was asked, what are entrepreneurs going to do in 2023? So I want to bring this onto the screen. I want to play the clip. It's about a minute and a half, roughly, maybe even 2 minutes long. And then I'm going to come back with my reaction. Here we go.
I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs about what they need, what they want, what they're afraid of in certain respects, because I have an audience of entrepreneurs who need something, right? You guys are servicing entrepreneurs that need something. And I don't know if the needs have changed. And one thing I am seeing is the questions are going from, okay, how do I make this? How do I make more money? To how do I balance my life? Or how do I stay internally motivated? And it's more, I think people are dealing with more now. And I don't know what it is about the world, but it's just like the world and people are changing emotionally somehow.
It's just heavy.
You feel it?
It's just, yeah, we've been talking about it all year. Like, I feel it so much that I was just telling my best friend Bree last night, when I was sharing something with her, she's like, why didn't you tell me? Why aren't you telling me that you're feeling this way? I'm like, I've been saying it all year. I'm not myself. Something is wrong. But it's everywhere. Like, when you open that can of worms, it's like, yeah, man, I've been feeling it too. And you've been feeling it, and you've been feeling it. And I think we're just in this heavy space, but I can't figure out what's causing it. Do we crave being in an environment of loved ones and people so much that a year and a half to 2 years of that has just drastically impacted us emotionally? Is that it? Like, I know I missed the last 2 Christmases. I had COVID both times, right? Almost missed my birthday. And I know that last year it really impacted me. I'm like, dang, I'm missing.
Not this Christmas too?
All right, hold on 1 second. Listen, let me just, whew. I so appreciated David and Donnie for lifting up this particular conversation, because it's one that is so necessary, right? This moment that we find ourselves in, this post-pandemic and pre-recessionary moment that we find ourselves in, is an incredibly difficult one for a lot of people. And the reason why that is that we are entering a terrain that we've never been on before. So our ability to navigate and wayfind is going to be a lot more difficult. There's so much uncertainty about what is to come, right? And I was recently having a conversation with my wife, and she said something to me that was super dope. She said, you can only take people as far as you've gone, right? So the work that you've done on yourself, the things that you've been able to achieve, or the heights you've been able to ascend to, you can only take people as far or as deep as you've gone. So if you haven't done that deep internal work, if you haven't done the work to fortify yourself for these new conditions, right? I listen to a lot of business podcasts, and they're always talking about optimizing themselves for profit in this new environment. But as entrepreneurs and business owners, it's about more than just chasing a bag. It's about chasing happiness, chasing quality of life that you believe those earnings will give to you, right? So how do you strike that balance? How do you do that internal work to prepare for what's coming down the road, right? Because the train is going off the rails in many ways. This new economic reality, what some refer to as late stage capitalism, is something that has been foresaw for quite some time. And now that we are here and dealing with high periods of inflation, inflation is the highest it's been in the last 40 years, right? The Fed is purposefully having to throw the economy into a recession in order to kill demand. There's too much demand because too much money has been printed. So they got to remove like $46 trillion from the economy, right? In order to cool things off because the economy has gotten too hot. The price and the value of things is overstated. It's not reflective of its true value. It's this value of this hyperinflated environment that we find ourselves in. And entrepreneurs are trying to figure it out. You know, some of us have been chasing money so hard that we end up losing ourselves. So now we're in a moment where you need that internal compass. You need that internal wayfinder. It's not about optimizing yourself for profits. It's about optimizing yourself for victory, to be able to withstand these dark periods that are coming ahead. Some people argue that this could be one of the darkest recessions that we've seen in the past 100 years. There are estimates that this recession that we're going into in 2023 could last as little as 18 months. Some people are arguing that it could last into 2025. Right? Because the economy, the monetary policy, everything has been thrown haywire. And entrepreneurs are trying to figure it out. Everybody got this big bag when it was easy to get. A lot of people blew up and exploded overnight during the pandemic. Right? We had 10 years of quantitative easing where they just printing money. Then you got PP, you got all this money flooding the streets and everybody's up. Everybody's getting a bag. The world gets locked down. Everybody goes in the house and, you know, some of us create podcasts. Some of our podcasts explode because we were already in position when the opportunity happened. So some people saw explosive growth of their viewership, of their audience, explosive growth in the sales of their courses during this period of time. But you know what they say about musical chairs? When the music stops, somebody gonna get left without a seat. And a lot of black entrepreneurs are starting to feel that. They're starting to feel that external pressure, and it's making them uncomfortable on the inside. They're trying to figure out, well, what do I do now? I made a lot of money real fast, but things are starting to slow up. I've increased my living expenses at the same rate that my income was increasing. So now I'm effectively living check to check. I'm effectively in a situation where shit, if this money don't come, if I don't hit these projections and these forecasts next month, I might have to pack up and move back in with mom. I might have to sell some of these luxury goods on the used luxury market, which is flooded right now, by the way. Right? The market for secondhand Rolexes and private jets, because people were like, you know, with all this crypto stuff and all this money that was happening over these last couple of years, people was going out balling. And what Warren Buffett say? I mean, you never know who's swimming naked until the tide comes in. And we find ourselves in a period where the tide is coming in. But it's not just coming in economically. There's a spiritual recession and depression that's happening as well. So you have to fortify yourself on all fronts. You have to fortify yourself on the economic front, on the political front, on the spiritual front, on the mental front. So what should entrepreneurs expect in 2023? Pain. Lots of it. There will be a few winners. A few will be able to withstand off of hype, off of charisma, off of position, but the majority won't. The majority won't. And I don't want to see an uptick in suicides because of just the mental pain of it all and the depression that comes with it and the uncertainty from being in a dark spot for so long that you start to lose hope. Yeah, this recession of 2023 is going to be a real one. No amount of Positive thinking and positive mindset is going to offset that. So if you are an entrepreneur that is looking to do that real work, to fortify yourself, to optimize yourself for victory, to optimize yourself for resilience, to optimize yourself for growth, for transformative growth, I welcome you to join us in our new community, the Amos Wilson Collective. We'll be launching this community this week, January the 8th at 11 a.m. I'll put the link in the description so you can set your reminders and learn all about the Amos Wilson Collective and what it can do for you, especially during these times of uncertainty, during these times of great hazard and great risk. So if you've been chasing money and chasing a bag and you're getting to a point where you're like, internally, I'm not feeling right. I feel disconnected. I feel isolated. I don't feel aligned. I'm disconnected from nature. I'm not aligned with spirit. And I need something. I need something to strengthen me. Then I invite you to plug into the source. Come and join a community that's working to build transformative power on all fronts. Economically, politically, spiritually, and mentally. I'm Omowale Africa, and this is the American Wealth Network.